Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Across the Galaxy is released as of today. We're going to go ahead and get this box open here. So we got some stuff in there. We got Veriso, previews of the cards on back. There's Leia, we got Cody, and of course the Falcon. So we're going to go ahead get this box open. I'm going to show you every card at least once. Once I get to a card, if it's a duplicate, we'll skip over it. I'll then do a shorter video just showing off the rare and legendary cards, so just the dice cards. But we're going to go ahead and get this open. We're going to then start opening the packs, and we should be good to go. Just going to reposition the camera, and we should be ready to start. Let's get this plastic off of here first. So cards we're looking for today. Really want to try to play with Veriso. She seems interesting to where your opponents can't take additional actions if you have her dice rolled out. Cody's cool. I think I would only need a single one of him because you could run basically 3 clone troopers and a single one of him because he reduces the cost of each of the clone trooper cards from legacies by 1 point. Of course, Vader, obviously, and potentially Beckett seems interesting. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and start getting these packs open. Set this over here. Alright, and our first pack. Gonna try not to look at the die right away until I actually see the card. That's easier said than done sometimes. I know that's yellow because I saw it in the camera. But we have the R2 Astromech. It seems interesting with this guy because you can basically put him on a vehicle, and then if you have stuff that is dependent on having upgrades on your vehicles, like dice get increased or reduced, like with the Shadowcaster, these droids would come in really handy for that. Obviously, that's a red though, so we have that. You have You Were My Friend. So You Were My Friend. Let's see if we can get this thing to focus on it. Go. You Were My Friend. We have On the Mark. We have Deja Vu. And our die card is we have L337 from Solo. So it basically becomes a mod after it gets defeated, which is really cool. So we'll set L3 there. We'll just do a separate pile of cards here. Of course, there's the L3 die. Throw it in its own little box. Got our next pack. And that just rolled off, but we'll find it. So we have Reach the Stars. Bewilder. You see where that die went. Can't really see it from here. We have Bewilder. We have Cash Out. We have Into Exile. And our die card is we have Tobias Beckett's Rifle. So part of the deck I want to build is a Beckett Val deck, and that's part of the deck is using his rifle. So we got Beckett's Rifle there. And I'll find that die in just a second. It just rolled off the table, I believe. See where it went. And there it is. So Beckett's Rifle. Next pack. Try to do it so I can't actually see the die in the bag. There we go. We have, what's this? Intense Fire. We have Revised Order. Revised Order, we have Leverage. We have Endow. And our die card is, we have our first legendary, we have Lando. So Lando Calrissian, smooth and sophisticated. Actually wants to... Oh, there we go. Pretty interesting, especially in a vehicle deck. To play a yellow vehicle from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1, giving it ambush, and if it's the Falcon, you can activate the Falcon, which is cool. So we're going to set that in a separate pile for all our legendaries. And there is the Lando die, the solo version. So we now have Lando from Empire Strikes Back, in Empire at War, and now from Solo. So one legendary down. Again, we want the Vader, we want Beckett, Veriso would be nice. We have Deployment. Revised Order we've already seen. We have Relentless. I've noticed there's a lot of these in these cards in the game where you play it as a support and then it gets discarded. So this is your opponents cannot heal characters, and after the action phase ends, discard the support. We have Systems Gauge. This is a new... I haven't seen this one yet. We can remove dice, which is kind of cool. Definitely from the Pod Racer. And our rare, we have Black 1. So a new version of Poe Dameron's X-Wing. And there's a die for it. Next pack. So we still got 5 legendaries in the box. We have Hatching a Plan. So Hatching a Plan. Bewilder, we've seen that. There's Shriek with our Porg. These guys are actually on the card back. They're like, whoa! Yeah, there they are right there. You can see them. So he's like, whoa! There's Shriek. In a Bind. In a Bind. And our rare is we have Biggs Darklighter. Really interesting if you pair him with other like pilots. You can do kind of like some fleet kind of stuff. So after you activate this character, you can activate one of your supports, then re-roll any number of that vehicle's support dice as well. It's really cool. There is Biggs. Again, 9 health and 9 points. And there's Biggs's die. All right, next one. We have Aerial Advantage. Aerial Advantage. Let the Hate Flow. So if you roll blanks, you can basically focus your opponent's stuff to blanks. On the mark we've seen. Here's Transfer. Basically, it's like almost like a whatever the blue and red card that lets you move weapons around. This does it for ship weapons. And we have, as a rare, we have Nexus of Power. Haven't seen this one yet. So after you activate support, you may turn this die to any side. That's weird because it's all zeros. So 0 range, 0 melee, 0 indirect, 0 discard, 0 shields, and 0 resources. Unless you're running a card that maybe like increases your supports. That's pretty interesting. Also, no blanks. So Nexus of Power. That's an interesting card. I'm not sure how you would actually build for that, or you would. That just seems like it seems really interesting. I'm sure you can do some cool stuff with it. We have Browbeat. That's interesting. That's a magic card as well. Browbeat. Bewilder we've seen. What's this? Improvised Defense. We have Shock Tactic. In our rare, we have, looks like we have Sauvage Oppress or Savage Oppress. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but there's him. 13 health. You got to activate him first unless you spot Maul. He does pair with Maul, which is really cool. He's got melee, 3 melee for a resource, +2, so 4 damage sides there. I've read the card, but I actually haven't seen the artwork on it yet, so pretty cool. So there's Sauvage Oppress or Savage, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Put a die in there. Got next pack. Still got 5 legendaries to go. And that just rolled out, but see, we have Heated Confrontation. R2 and this other droid. Hate Let the Hate Flow, we've seen that. We have Act of Cruelty, that's a new one. Endow, and a second black one. So playset of that. Great. I do know that it's blue, but let's see. Intense Fighter we've seen. We have Safeguard. Pretty good. Could work well in a Qui-Gon deck because he, you have a bunch of stuff on him, he'll get more shields, and that'll help increase his character damage and his weapon damage. Another Shriek. Reluctance. Got Jar Jar on there. That's really interesting, especially if they have like a really, really big, like a really powerful like God roll or something, or they have modifiers. They won't be able to resolve all that together. So that could be Reluctance could be good. And it is Force Mystic. So Force Mystic is our rare. Go into the box. Next pack. Again, hoping to get that Vader. Or, yeah, hoping to get a Vader in here. See, we have Inflame. I don't think we've seen that one yet. Ambush. Turn an opponent's die to decide showing damage. Since it has Ambush, I guess you can basically focus one of their blanks into damage and then remove that with something like Honor Guard or something. It'd be cool. Deadly Advance. We have Across the Galaxy. There's our card with the set title in it. Across the Galaxy there. We have Vow of Vengeance. And our rare is, we have the Shadowcaster. That's our second legendary. So far I opened Lando and the Shadowcaster. I actually bought some loose packs earlier and opened a Shadowcaster. I think I opened 4 legendaries when I was at the store. So bought a bunch of packs, got 4 legendaries, got Shadowcaster, Vader's First, Qui-Gon, and Vader. So hoping to get the other half of some of those cards. So another Vader, another Qui-Gon maybe. Outgun, I don't think we've looked at that one yet. So where's Outgun? Outgun, Repulse. Act of Cruelty we've seen. Attack of the Clones. Seems interesting in a deck that is like running Cody and clones. Ready any number of your non-needed characters that has the same title. Kind of expensive at 5 resources, but it's still pretty cool. And here is the Escape Craft. Falcon. And that die just dropped, but I'll go grab it. Alright, next pack. So looking to get that second Vader. Really want to be able to run him at Elite. Maybe Vader Greedo or something like that, or maybe even use a negative point plot. And because I think Talton Might work if you use a negative plot. I'm not really sure. Reach the stars we've seen. Here's Gathering Intelligence. That's a new one. We have Fight Fire with Fire. We have Vader's Meditation Chamber. And what is this? We have the Treasured Lightsaber is our rare. Haven't seen this one yet. So +1, +2, shield, resource special. After you play the upgrade, you may draw a card. Deal 2 blockade damage to a character or 3 damage instead if you have 5 or more cards in your hand. It's kind of cool. And it's a neutral. Next pack. Again, trying not to look at the die before I actually get to the card. Outgun we've seen. You Are My Friend. Relentless. We have a location. This is Trading Room in Camino, on Camino from episode 2. Reroll any number of your non-unique character dice. Really cool if you're running like a clone deck, clone trooper deck or something like that, or just any deck that's running a lot of non-unique characters, like stormtroopers, clone troopers, whatever it might be. And our rare is we have third legendary. We have Iden Veriso. Pretty cool. Like her side, so 2, 2, and 2, and when this character's die is in your pool, your opponents cannot take additional actions. So that's really cool. Their third legendary. There we go. So there is Iden Veriso. We're going to move into our next pack. So that's half of our legendaries. Laser cannon. So some of these vehicle upgrades don't actually have dice, so this one's just cool. So after you activate it, you may deal 1 indirect. Laser cannon. We have, what's this? Cunning Ruse. I really like this on Vader. So you don't want to remove Vader's dice, but you can do something like Cunning Ruse on him, roll him. If he rolls high, he'll take that damage, which is pretty cool. Leverage we've seen. Turn the tables. And our rare is we have another Nexus of Power, the one with all zeros. All right, next up. We have Armored Escort. So each of your characters has Guardian, and at the end of the action phase, discard the support. Kind of cool. There's Armored Escort. We have Bloodlust. So deal damage with your dice and then deal an additional damage, which is cool. We have Carabast. Move damage around, which is good. We have Double Down, so the 2-point plot that lets you include additional copies of some cards in your deck. You include 1 additional copy of up to 2 different cards. Still, of course, following rules for deck building, such as color and all that kind of stuff, and affiliation. And our charge for this one is we have Senate Chamber. So there's the Senate Chamber. All right, next pack. I already know it's blue, but Fleet Command. Repulse we've seen. Carabas we've seen. Turn the tables we've seen. We have, this is Baroness Ophi? I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Where's her? That's the blue hero. All right, next pack. Again, we still got 3 legendaries to still open. Just hoping for a Vader. If any of them are legendary, I'd just rather be Vader. So we have In Tandem. Seen that yet? In Tandem, Cunning Ruse, Conflicted. Conflicted. We have Daring Gambit. That's a new one. And we have the Triple Laser Turret as our rare. So it's cool because you put it on there, and then the actual support can't be removed. They have to remove the laser turret before they can remove the vehicle. In Flame, we've seen that. Here is Insight. Improvised Defense we've seen. Into Exile we've seen. And we have the Fire Spray 31. Hatching a Plan, we've seen that. We have Relinquish. Haven't seen that one yet. So if somebody's about to try to remove one of your, like destroy an upgrade, you can basically bounce it to your hand. It's kind of cool. So there's Relinquish, Fight Fire with Fire we've seen, Training Room we've seen, and we have another Triple Laser Turret. All right, next up, so we have Attack Formation. We've seen that. Galactic Deception. I don't think we've seen yet. Maybe we have. We have Exploit. That's a new one. No Allegiance. So we have the -1 point plot, and you can basically only play neutral cards, and each neutral character gets +1 health. And our next legendary, 4th legendary, we have the Millennium Falcon. So there's that. So 2 legendaries left to open. And there's a Falcon's die. Roll it out, for example. 4 in the wreck damage. Good. Pretty good die there. Especially if you can get it out for less, like with like a quad jumper or using Lando's ability. Because if it is a Falcon, you can basically you get the vehicle gets ambush, and then you can roll it in and potentially just resolve it, which is cool. All right, Fleet Command we've seen, Repulse we've seen, Drop In we have not seen that one yet. So basically, roll in if you're fighting on your battlefield, you get ambush off of it. We have Fear and Dead Men, really interesting card. I really want to get 2 of that for a Vader deck. I just love the artwork on it. Those guards are basically just saying, like, what are we going to do? We can't really take Vader down. And we have a second Savage / Savage Oppress. So we can run him at Elite. I can build him in Maul if I wanted to. Second Savage or Savage Oppress. All right, next pack. Aerial Advantage we've seen. You have the T16 Skyhopper. The T16, we have Indifferent. And we have Solidarity. The -1 can either basically all your stuff has to be the same color. You can only include, I believe, one copy of any card in your deck. Solidarity. And then we have Grappling Boa, the new one. I haven't seen this one yet. So after it takes damage from it, you can remove one of their dice, which is cool. Or remove one of that character's dice. Alright, next pack. Well, I guess I've already seen it. We have Foresight. Foresight. We have Hold Off. Through the Pass. We have Bitter Rivalry with that really kind of sweet Obi-Wan Darth Maul artwork. -1, basically you take 2 indirect, and you get a draw card. And our rare is, we have the Infernal Squad ID-10 Seeker Droid. Really strong with Veriso, so 1 resource, no blanks, and then with Veriso's ability, they don't get the extra action off of the special. So look at an opponent's hand, discard a card from it. That opponent may take an additional action during the next turn this round. Of course, if Veriso's out, they don't get to do anything with that extra action. So that's really cool. That's the Infernal Squad ID-10. And again, 2 legendaries still to go. We have Vigilance. Another one of the remove or discard at the end of the round. So Deadly Alliance we've seen. Or Deadly Advance. I don't know why I said Deadly Alliance. Quick Thinking. We have Dogfight. And we have Black 2 as our rare. So Mauler Mythos TIE Fighter. We have the R2 Astromech, we've seen that. Revised Order, Shriek, Drop 'em. I don't think we've seen this one yet. There's Drop 'em, and our rare is, we have Commander Cody. So I'm thinking running him at a single die, and then running a bunch of Clone Troopers. You can run 3, because there'll be 7 points each. So 21 points worth of Clone Troopers, and 9 points for him to make 30. And basically cool effect, take control of the battlefield and use the claim ability or power action even if it's been used. I don't know how competitive a Cody triple clone trooper deck would be, but it would just be fun at least. Throw in a bunch of upgrades or supports that require the battlefield, like the lookout post and that kind of stuff. Alright, let's see what we got here. Deployment, we've seen that. Let the Hate Flow, we've seen it. First Claim, haven't seen that one yet. First Claim. Targeting Astromech, we saw this in the spoiler article. I really like targeting Astromech. So 1 resource, goes on a vehicle, and you can exhaust it to turn that supports die to any side. Really cool. Targeting Astromech, and our 5th legendary, which I'm not really big on it, but BB-8. So 3 focus side, shield, resource, +1 resource. There's an action, you can spot a vehicle to put him on it. Yeah, spot a vehicle support to attach this card to it as a mod. If that vehicle is black 1 ready, and you can only use that action once per game. So we got 1 legendary still to go. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about BB-8 being legendary. I mean, 3 focus sides is pretty strong, but then you had to definitely build around it using like a Poe deck with black 1 and whatnot. So there goes BB-8. Let's see what we got now. I know it's blue. We have a laser cannon again. Burst of lightning. I don't know if we've seen that one yet. Burst of Lightning. Exploit we've seen. This is the Theed Royal Palace on the Boo. Gain a resource, spot a neutral character to take an additional action, which is kind of cool. So, if you let's say you get a resource and you have a neutral character on them, they're on a resource costed die, you can get that resource. If they're yellow or neutral, I mean, you then resolve it with that ambush action, which is kind of cool. And another Force Mystic. All right, next pack. Browbeat we've seen. The X34 Landspeeder, I don't think we have. X34, we have Across the Galaxy. Wanton Destruction, really interesting. For each character die showing damage, deal damage equal to its value to its matching character. So, let's say your opponents roll out and you haven't rolled out yet, you can basically just ensure that you're going to only be hitting their characters, which is kind of good. And then our rare, we have the Pileo Star Compass. This is new to me. I haven't seen this one yet. So focus, +1 focus, shield, 2 shields for a resource, +1 resource. Turn one of your dice to a side, matching the symbol and value showing on this die. So yeah, that basically you can focus one of your dice to a side, matching whatever you roll on this. So that's the Star Compass. There we go. Next up, we have Imposing Presence. We have Hold Off, we've seen that. Shakedown, I don't think we've seen that one yet. Shakedown, we have Question Loyalty. So really interesting. So if you're playing this with in a Thrawn deck, you're gonna know what they have. Then you can do something like this. If you have another character showing discard or something, you then get to look at their hand and you have knowledge already from what Thrawn saw, which is kind of cool. And we have Luce, the Callous Night Sister. A rare. Alright, so still one legendary to go. Armored Escort we've seen. Immutability. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but seen that one yet. So each of your upgrades has redeploy, and after the action phase ends, you discard it. So it looks like every side's going to get one of these kind of cards. Have a good investment. I haven't seen that yet. We have, excuse me, Landing Dock as a location. Really good in a vehicle tick, so after anybody plays a vehicle, that player may take control of the battlefield, and as a power action, they can re-roll a die. So re-roll their vehicles or whatever else. And we have another Star Compass. Got one legendary left. We got just, what do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 packs to go. With In Tandem, we've seen that. T16, we've seen. Conflicted, we've seen. We have I Am the Senate. In our rare here, we have a Super Battle Droid. Alright, next up, we have Vigilance, we've seen that. At Odds, I don't think we've seen yet. But it actually wants to focus. So, At Odds. There we go. First claim, we've seen that. Finishing Strike, I don't think we've seen yet. In our rare, or our last legendary, we have Qui-Gon Jinn. We'll have him at Elite now since I got him earlier when I was at the store. So here's all of our legendaries. No second Vader or Beckett, but I do have Qui-Gon Jinn at Elite now, so I can build for that. And he's 18 points for a single die. So I could do something to maybe even run Solidarity with Yoda and get new Qui-Gon, new Yoda, possibly. Yeah, Solidarity, so it drops it by 1, 18, 28, 9, 30, 31. Yep, Yoda's 13. So that would definitely work. Next up, Heated Confrontation, we've seen that. Burst of Lightning, we've seen. Cash Out, we've seen. No Questions Asked, the new one. And then we have the Donderbluss Blaster Pistol. And then again, I'll be doing a video just showcasing the rare and legendary cards as well. So Attack Formation, we've seen that. Safeguard, we've seen. Shakedown, we've seen. Solidarity, we've seen. And a second L337. So we have her at Elite as well, if we want to run her as Elite. Interesting thing with her ability is when she is defeated, she becomes a support or a mod. It's going to be interesting if you have her at Elite, if you get to use both her dice as the mod, or if it drops it to 1. I'm sure there'll be an FAQ or clarification on that once that comes out. All right, 2 packs to go. Imposing Presence, we've seen that. Gathering Intelligence, we've seen. Good Investment, we've seen. Here's Hijack. Yeah, steal an opponent's vehicle, basically. And we have a second Beckett blaster rifle. So place that on that. Don't know if I would ever run more than one of that rifle in a deck. Maybe 2, but not really sure because it is a unique weapon. And final pack. We have Barrel Roll. So do a Barrel Roll. That Barrel Roll. At Odds we've seen. On the Mark we've seen. Evacuate, I haven't seen that one yet. So defeat one of your non-unique characters. After the action phase ends, return that character to play. Now, that's weird because it says, so I imagine it returns at full health? I'm not really sure. I haven't seen this one yet. Evacuate, and then our rare is the Chain Sickle. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with this box. So, again, got my second Qui-Gon. We got Lando the Falcon. We got Veriso. I really want to build a deck with her. We got some really interesting stuff. So now I can potentially build Yoda Qui-Gon. If I run Solidarity, I can drop Yoda by 1. So Yoda will basically be 12 points. And I'll be able to run both of them. However, with that, you can only run one of any card in your deck. So it definitely limits your deck building because you're not going to be able to include playsets and stuff. And of course, stay tuned because I'll be doing a video just showcasing the rares as well as the legendaries. So that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching, and take care.